is a short podcast on using the overleaf latex editor. Latex is a system for creating mathematical documents, and it's very easy to create sophisticated mathematical equations. So I'm not really going to focus on an introduction to LaTeX. I'm really just showing you some of the basics of overleaf, and particularly on the referencing, and just have a quick look at the example. So I log in to overleaf. There'll be a link in the general notation. So my account is via Google. Okay, and so I have various projects. I don't use it too much. So I provided a link to the one we use. Which is the sample paper. Okay, so here's an example of a LaTeX document. There's stuff like the authorships, and particularly we're going to focus on the kind of big type stuff. So here's the source codes, and you write text in here. You just add in, if you want to add something, you just add in some text, some new things. Down here. Then if you recompile it, this is then converted into a PDF document. Okay, and I put the new text, some new stuff in the abstract, the typing's there. You can see the format of the equations. Here, this little button allows you to download stuff as a PDF. This thing allows you to share it. You've got to be a bit careful on the account system. I'm not sure how many people you're allowed to share it with, but this allows you to share it with other people. The history probably allows you to, sometimes there's like version control as you change the document. So I'm not going to introduce you to LaTeX. I want to show you the bibtex system, which is a way of doing the references. So if we go to the end of the document, there's some kind of nice references down here. And the thing with referencing, they should all be in a sort of standard format. I mean, this is just the way that journals work. Or the documents, they just prefer everything to be in a very standard systematic format. As I say before, we don't use Harvard referencing system in mathematics, essentially at all. Okay, so some examples we're using something bibtex, and I've set the example up like this. Okay, so the actual references is created by these lines here. So this is using something called bibtex, which is a kind of a paper manager. So the actual paper references are in here. This file refs.bib. Refs.bib is just a text file I've created in the same directory. So this is the standard format of what a book looks like. So you have the title, author, ISBN, URL, another book, and then when you recompile, it processes these entries and converts it into these nice, properly structured these things. So when you write a paper, usually you build up a little database of these things, of the papers. And if we go down a little bit, so this thing, obviously, because we're writing something, you shouldn't really have too many Wikipedia articles, but what you should have is better to have papers. So this is one of the famous Einstein papers, has the journal article, the year, and the DOI, and some other stuff. And that's converted hit here, up and down sign, and it has the journal reference, the date, and that stuff. And it just helps. I mean, the reason you have this standard is so when the readers want to check something you've done or want to look at a source, they can easily do that. Okay, so these things are kind of slightly structured. I just wanted to point out, so when the references and the links, you can actually, there are actual utilities that'll allow you to get hold of these things. So there's something called Google Books, which is just books are So normally I certainly don't write these things myself. So we can look at Guesstimation, which is one of the references. This is a very good kind of problem-solving book. So it has bits of the book. You don't get free access. It just gives you some information. If you click on about this book, you get some information on it. And then down here you actually get a bibtex type thing, and this allows you to extract it. Okay, I'm going to save the file. Okay, let's see. Okay, so just look at the text file. So actually Google's done all the work for you. If you find the right link, it has all the information, and you just can download the bibtex information. Then normally what I do is I paste this into, and well, in fact this is what I did. I pasted it, that entry from Google, into this thing here. And yeah, the other useful thing is Google Scholar. So this is Google, but it's like a database of papers. Okay, let's look at Einstein products. Click on it. Okay, so if you click on the little double quotation marks, you get the format of the paper. I mean, you could also, I guess, paste this directly if you're using another system, but also you get an access to the bibtex. And see here, Google's done all the work, so you get a standard format for the bibtex. And then if you so wish, you can go into the system, and then we can paste it in. And the way this works, if you look in the text, there'll be a kind of there'll be a reference. Let's go back to the document, there's some text. So there'll be a site. So this site command here, when you see this name, this goes to Weinstein 2008. That refers to the book Guesstimation. This one's Advice to Future Presidents, and this is the Einstein paper. And when you do the site command, what it refers to is this little tag at the top. Okay, so this is an easy way of building up references using the tools like Google Scholar and Google Books. I should say that it doesn't always automatically work, although I'm as guilty of this as anybody else. Sometimes I'll create my bibtex things, but sometimes the titles might be a bit mangled. So occasionally you have to go in and edit these things a little bit. So you can't automatically accept everything from Google Scholar or Google Books. And you should, when you do your final set of typo checking, you should actually check that that the output looks good, and there's no kind of really strange formatting gone wrong in the names, particularly if they're foreign names using umlauts from Germany or something like that. But you should really fix it in the bibtex file. And so this is kind of a nice way to deal with references, which is a very important part of running a scientific document. But most of us who do these things for a living use software to do these things. Okay, thank you.